Hello guys. Um, sorry about that. My name is Sheriff Siblings, aka everyone knows me, but I am Mimon, and I think this video should be goes to LWE. This word's 3 letters stands for Laughing and Wrestling Entertainment. It actually is not that big a company, but man, sorry about the background noise because my dog want to play it, so decided. I want to talk about the stories. I tell a bunch of different stories, embarrassing moments, and not embarrassing, but clicks, what I hated, what I liked. Yeah. I'm coming soon. I am coming back for the real. And also, I want to shout out to Martin and my brother Christers, who help build this rivalry and build this wrestling, backyard wrestling in Latvia. I would say we were first. Somebody saw our video out 2009, and everybody just started putting videos on YouTube, putting Facebooks, and Dragon Prince LA and stuff. Yeah. We were kids. And that video, I'm so changed. I know English better. I know how better wrestling stuff. And I'm older and more, yeah. I was 5 years old when I started watching wrestling. And I remember my dad was going through the channels what to watch, and I was like 5 years old. I can't really remember. I think it was SmackDown replay, and I was just like standing there, watching, and I was realizing, I started watching wrestling, and then suddenly my mom allowed me because I was too young to watch it. But at that time they used chairs and blood and so I until stopped. Until I was 7 years old, I started watching wrestling again. From that point, I started following wrestling, and so from that years, from I was 7, I started learning English, and then I just fell in love with wrestling, and of course with WWE. So yeah. Then I started learning there was more companies. There was ECW, there was WCW, and going through the years, until the 16, 17 years of age, yes, I'm 17, 10 years later, 10 years, wow. Anyway, then, I remember my uncle was 12, I don't know, and yeah, then, and then, yeah, and then I started learning stuff from wrestling. The first embarrassing story was from my uncle and how his first wrestling match I remember. I think I was Big Show. Uh, my uncle was Martin. It was I think John Cena, and my brother. He was a little kid and he was a Forrest Rey Mysterio with a mask, and that was the cutest thing ever. And yeah, and then that was the first video of us recording, and then later we started recording more and more and more and playing wrestling. But I remember when the Maimon was born, Martin was born, and my sisters was born as wrestlers. They're retired right now. I'm part-time and I am active, so I'm glad I'm active. Follower of wrestling. First match, it was me and my brother as a tag team, and my uncle was alone and with Mr. Partner. We didn't know who will be Mr.'s partner. And then my brother backstabbed me by attacking me. And I was born as a bad guy. Probably I will be in real life bad guy. I'm not. I'm not. Yeah, that's another thing. Then another thing I would say the first win of championship I remember, it was me, my brother, and my uncle as a ladder match. Supposedly we didn't have no, we actually did titles, and they knocked me out for I was laying down 20 minutes, and then my brother was stepping on the ladder after 20 minutes, and I suddenly kind of came out, and I knocked him down. Went to with a ladder. It was actually a real ladder. I took a championship belt and I won it. So that's memories of me. Then later, I got fired twice. I don't even know how I got it back. And then, first time ever, I was actually hurt. And I got slammed. First, I got slammed on my back on the actual ground, and it was actually mistake. I didn't get enough oxygen. I was laying down, I was crying, and I didn't know where I am. At that point, it was a hurtful thing. And then, few months or year later, my uncle broke my very say this food, and I wouldn't walk for 5 minutes, 5 months, or even a year, because I was in pain, of course. That was very hurtful, very, very, very hurtful. I also remember that I found out the wrestling wasn't real. First few 2 months, I was in shock because I was a kid and I thought it was real. So it wasn't. It was start of PG era. Yeah, to stop using blood. I went through. Why there's no blood around there? What happened to blood? The blood was awesome in Extreme. Last Extreme Rules matches, fake Extreme Rules matches. Nobody got hurt. And then it was 2009. 2009, the first time ever publicly I put up the video. And the video, you know what I'm talking about. Probably others don't know what I'm talking about. But I record me and my other friends, and my brother, me, and all the neighbors, and they took cameras and started recording, and I thought it was awesome and funny. And when I that text, what they say in there in that video, it was ridiculous and ridiculous bad, but it was memories. And remember these old memories, they just part of my childhood, probably. Probably people hate wrestling, but not me. All my childhood was wrestling, and that's why I sent a request to IWW, Irish Web Wrestling. Irish Web Wrestling, and yeah, and I'm glad that I'm happy to be a wrestler, and I am. If people ask me what's my favorite wrestler of all time, it has to be my childhood hero, and I follow him. And I was Undertaker was all-time favorite. Right now, it was CM Punk, not now. King of Swiss and Tony Cesaro, and the bad guy. I would say bad guy would be Bray Wyatt. Favorite diva of all time. I think first Stratus, and right now it's Paige and Lana. They're so awesome. And AJ Lee and yeah. So thank you for your patience if you don't want to watch it. So I'm happy to talk about it. If somebody want to ask me questions, or even tell me a bunch of stupid, just post and stuff. I don't give a crap to people what they say about me, so and wrestling. Do you know? Lots of my friends told me, do you know wrestling's real? And I answered, yes, I know. I don't even give a crap. So, it's really popular in America and probably Europe. So, thank you. Bye. Have a nice day, and have a nice, warm, hot summer. It's summer for me.